chapter 24, a psalm of David. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the mountain of the Lord? And who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not taken my name in vain, and hath not sworn deceitfully. He shall receive a blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. Such is the generation of them that seek after him, that seek your face, even Jacob. Selah. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be ye lifted up, you everlasting doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord, strong and mighty, the Lord, mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O you gates, yes, lift them up, you everlasting doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah. All right, let's go back up, verse 1. Once again, we have a psalm of David, a song of the beloved, and we're going to pick up here in verse 1. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein. And declaring that all things belong to God, the earth and the fullness, that's all things that are in it, all the goodness therein, the world and all they that dwell, all life, all things that are in the earth, for from the earth all things came. It is God's creation. It belongs to God. It's his, too. For he has founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. For he has founded it upon the seas, and these seas, the seas is the coalescing of waters. It's where the waters come together. All the rain falls to the earth. It goes to the seas, the streams, the lakes, or the rivers, the lakes, and the streams, and it slowly returns to the sea, or back to from the sun. It's evaporated, one of the two. But it's in a course to make its way back to wherever it came from. We'll find that's the way God set it all up. He established it in the floods, and these floods are going to be a representation of waters. Waters are understandings, and these understandings, even the rain that comes from God, is an understanding. The former rain, the former understanding. The latter rain is a latter understanding. These understandings come from God, just like waters upon the earth, and they coalesce into a sea, or a great understanding. But they're salted there, because they'll need to be purified. They have brought with them now that from the earth. 3. Who shall ascend into the mountain of the Lord? Who shall stand in his holy place? Who shall ascend into the mountain of the Lord? We have a question. I love questions because we almost always get the answer. And who shall stand in his holy place? Who shall stand in that hallowed place, that place that's set aside by God? We're going to find out. His holy mountain. His holy mountain. That mountain is always a high place. Mountain is looked to as high. God's mountain is more like a mound in the middle of a place of a plain. It's a mound in the middle of a plain. That's God's high place. It's built on every generation from before, and that's what makes that mound. 4. He that has clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not taken my name in vain, and hath not sworn deceitfully. He that has clean hands and a pure heart, he has good intentions and hasn't done no evil. Is exactly all this means. These clean hands is to be good, and your works are clean. You've done no hurt. You've done no damage. You've done nothing wrong. There's no sin in your work. And pure heart is to have a pure heart, or the best of intentions, good in your intentions, not wickedness, not evilness. Who hath not taken my name in vain, and hath not sworn deceitfully? The one who has not taken my name in vain. The King James Version says here, he who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity. Now, well, that's really close to exactly what the scriptures say over here. The one that's not lifted up, that's not exalted themselves or their soul, their spirit. This word is nephesh, and it means this innerness, yourself, your life, your being. But one who's not exalted, not lifted up in vain, it's the same thing as to exalt yourself in vanity, to exalt yourself in vanity, to adorn yourself with God, to make somebody think you're somebody. We'll find back in the old days the priest had to put their garments off. They couldn't go out to the public with their garment on, see, because this would be vanity. 5. He shall receive a blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. And this one who doesn't lift himself up, this one's pure in heart, clean hands, ain't done nothing wrong. We'll find God kept him that way. He shall receive a blessing from the Lord, righteousness from the God of his salvation, justness from his God, because God is just. God's not a respecter of persons. God loves those that keep his law, and God is trying to turn those that don't. 6. Such is the generation of them that seek after him, that seek your face, even Jacob, Selah. And such is this generation of them that seek after him. Who? Seek after God. I seek after God, these that have clean hands. And we're talking about this generation is a people that spread out across time itself. We can't say, oh, it's during this period of time. No, this generation has come from across the millenniums of time to declare these things. We have found this out. They declare these things that make plain God's understanding. And we're going to find out just what that is. 7. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be you lifted up, you everlasting doors, that the King of glory may come in. Lift up your heads. Raise up your understanding. Lift up your control. Raise up that which gives you strength. O you gates. And gates always a place of judgment. Ain't nothing going to change about that. That's where they gather in judgment. They gather there for judgments, to find out what's going to happen. That's what the gates were in the old days. But these gates are something else. Be you lifted up. Raise them up. Exalt the gates. Exalt these places of judgment, these great understandings, these everlasting doors. And a door is a place where you go in and out. That's what a door is. These places where they go in and out of God's understanding. It's the law. It's the law. It don't take a whole lot to figure that out. That's where they go in and out of God's understanding. That's what God said. He said, this is your understanding, this is your knowledge, this is your wisdom. From the beginning. And when you go out of God's understanding, when you go out or violate, trespass, come against this law, this understanding, you go out the door. That's where you're going out. 8. Who is the King of glory? The Lord, strong and mighty, the Lord, mighty to battle. Who is the King of glory? There's only one. He's God. All the rest are not gods. These are the hosts that he uses against all the nations of the earth. These hosts of not gods. These mighty ones. Oh, these mighty ones. These ones of judgment. The Lord's strong and mighty. The Lord, he's mighty in battle. He is the mighty one of the strong ones. These other, we call them mighty ones. They're the strong ones. Compared to God, he is mighty in battle. He slayed them all. Well, we know he can because he's the one that made them. He invented them. He's the one that come up with them. He's the one that used them against you. 9. Lift up your heads, O you gates. Yes, lift them up, you everlasting doors, that the King of glory may come in. Lift up your heads. Lift up your understandings. Now, you gates, you places of judgment, the law, yes, lift them up, you everlasting doors. Once again, it's twice we repeat this, twice for witness, to make firm in your understanding what these everlasting doors are. This is the forever covenant. They call it the Old Testament. It ain't the Old Testament. It's the everlasting covenant. And the great example that came with it. There ain't nothing changed. That the King of Glory may come in. That God may take his throne. 10. Who then is the King of Glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of Glory. Selah. Who then is the King of Glory? Once again, for your understanding, witness this. The Lord of hosts. He is King of Glory. Selah. And that's pretty well the end of it. God, he alone reigns over men. He alone reigns over men. And across time, he has used example after example to show his reign. To show your lack of understanding, show your lack of knowledge. Hey, but he did it. He did it. God did that. That's how God works right there. Let's move forward to chapter 25. Turn and return